The solar winds howled against the reinforced windows of Outpost Kepler 442, a lonely research station perched on the edge of a crimson desert that stretched beyond 3 horizons. Dr. Ilara Quinn stood in the main observatory, her calloused hands adjusting the spectral analyzer with practiced precision. 6 months had passed since mentor Sakira's death, and Ilara had not stopped working for a single day. The outpost hummed with life, atmospheric processors cycling, hydroponic gardens flourishing, data streams flowing to 17 different research institutions across 4 star systems. Every circuit, every line of code, every cultivated cell bore the mark of Ilara's relentless maintenance. She had promised Sakira she would keep the research alive, and humans, as the galaxy was learning, kept their promises with frightening dedication. Ilara wiped the sweat from her forehead and glanced at the holographic memorial she had constructed in the East Wing. Sakira's 3-dimensional form flickered there, captured in a moment of laughter during one of their late-night discussions about quantum entanglement. The Catharan scientist had taken Ilara under her wing 7 years ago, when the young human had arrived as little more than an eager postdoctoral fellow with more questions than sense. "Your species asks why about everything," Sakira had told her once, her crystalline eyes gleaming with amusement. "Most civilizations learn to accept, humans learn to change." A proximity alarm shattered Ilara's reverie. Her tablet blazed with warnings. 3 ships entering orbit, Catharan design, military configuration. Her heart sank. She had hoped for more time. The communication panel crackled to life. A harsh voice, speaking in the clicking, melodic language of the Catharan, filled the room. Ilara's translation implant converted the words instantly. "Human occupant. This is clan leader Korthax of the Sakira bloodline. We have come to reclaim our heritage. Prepare for immediate boarding and evacuation." Ilara's jaw tightened. She tapped the response button, her voice steady despite the fear coiling in her chest. "Clan leader, I am Dr. Ilara Quinn, appointed successor to mentor Sakira's research. This outpost is operational and productive. I'm willing to discuss transition protocols. There is nothing to discuss. Catharan law is absolute. All property returns to the bloodline upon death. You have 1 standard hour to gather your personal effects." The channel went dead. Ilara stood frozen for a moment, then her training kicked in. She moved through the outpost like a woman possessed, downloading critical data, securing research samples, backing up 7 years of collaborative work onto portable drives. But even as she worked, rage built inside her, not the hot, explosive kind, but the cold, calculating fury that had driven her ancestors to cross oceans and terraform planets. 53 minutes later, the airlock hissed open. Korthax entered, flanked by 4 warriors in ceremonial armor. The clan leader was imposing, nearly 8 feet tall, his exoskeleton gleaming with hereditary markings. He surveyed the outpost with proprietary satisfaction. "You have prepared for departure," he said, noting the packed containers near the exit. "Good, the human shows wisdom." "No," Ilara said quietly. "I've prepared for your arrival." Korthax's head tilted, confusion rippling through his translator field. "Explain." Ilara gestured around the observatory. "Every system in this outpost has been modified. Sakira taught me Catharan technology, yes, but I rebuilt it. 47% of the equipment is now human-designed. The atmospheric processor uses an algorithm I developed. The quantum communications array operates on principles your people haven't discovered yet. The hydroponic gardens grow food optimized for Catharan biology. But the cultivation method is mine." She pulled up holographic schematics, flooding the room with technical displays. "The neural interface connecting all systems? I designed it during the 3rd year. The backup power grid? My engineering. The radiation shielding that allows this outpost to survive solar flares that would destroy any standard Catharan facility? Human innovation." Korthax's mandibles clicked in agitation. "The structure, the land, the core technology, all Catharan. The structure would collapse without my maintenance protocols," Ilara countered, her voice rising with passion. "The land would be barren without my environmental management. The core technology would be obsolete without my upgrades. For 6 months I have kept this place alive alone. I have processed 3,000 hours of research data. I have published 14 papers under Sakira's name to honor her memory. I have kept her dream alive." She pulled out a data crystal, holding it up to the light. "This contains 7 years of joint research. Breakthroughs in quantum biology that will revolutionize medicine across a dozen species. Work that Sakira and I built together, molecule by molecule, equation by equation. You want your inheritance, clan leader? Here it is, but without me it's meaningless. You don't have the expertise to continue this work. You don't even understand half of what I've done here. Korthax's warriors shifted uncomfortably. The clan leader himself seemed taken aback by the human's intensity. Your laws say property returns to the bloodline, Ilara continued, her voice dropping to a steely calm. But Sakira told me once that Catharan law also recognizes the right of the nurturer, the one who tends and grows what was left behind. She told me that in ancient times, when a master craftsman died, their apprentice could claim the workshop if they proved themselves worthy through continued creation. That law is antiquated, Korthax said, but uncertainty colored his tone. Is it enforced? Ilara pressed, a long silence stretched between them. Finally, one of the warriors spoke, his voice younger, less certain, the law of continuation. It still exists in our legal codes. If the human can demonstrate ongoing creation and preservation of the mentor's work, Korthax's exoskeleton plates rattled with frustration. He stared at Ilara, seeing her properly for the first time. The exhaustion etched into her face, the chemical stains on her jumpsuit, the fierce determination burning in her eyes. This was not a scavenger or a squatter. This was a guardian. You would invoke ancient law against us? He asked. I invoke the same dedication Sakira showed me, Ilara replied. She taught me that knowledge isn't property, it's responsibility. I'm willing to share everything here with her clan, to honor her memory together, but I won't abandon her life's work to bureaucracy and neglect. The clan leader studied her for a long moment. Then slowly, he lowered his head in the Catharan gesture of acknowledgement. Perhaps, he said carefully, we can discuss a partnership. The clan provides resources and recognition. You provide expertise and continuity. Ilara felt the tension drain from her shoulders. That's all I've ever wanted. As the sun set over the crimson desert, casting the outpost in amber light, Ilara returned to her workstation. The hologram of Sakira flickered beside her, and she could almost hear her mentor's voice. Humans learn to change. She smiled and began typing the first joint report to the Sakira clan, knowing that the real work, the work of building bridges between species through shared purpose, was only just beginning. The outpost hummed around her, alive and vital, a monument not to one species or another, but to the stubborn human belief that some things were worth fighting for, and that the best inheritance was not what you received, but what you created.